Hi, in continuation to our last two modules, let me introduce in this module decision making, how decision making involves in planning. In fact, the manager job is all about decision making. Managers involves decision making in every moment of their job. In that sense, when you say that the planning is the primary function of management or a first function of management, so the planning starts with taking decisions. Taking decision is a kind of a root cause for planning, right? In all stages of planning, there is an involvement of decision making. So in this video, we will understand decision making, how the decision making is really involves in the planning, and then its importance for managers. So these are the certain issues that we will try to understand in this module. When you look at the decision making or decisions, so let us understand what is decision primarily. So a decision can be defined, of course it is explained and defined by many writers, but for your understanding, let me just look at in a very simple and then a brief manner the term, the decision, as a course of action purposefully chosen from a set of alternatives to achieve organizational or managerial objectives or goals. When I say that the planning is all about determining objectives and goals, right? Determination or deciding objectives and goals involves decision. So that means decision is something related to a course of action purposefully chosen from a set of alternatives to achieve organizational or managerial objectives and goals of the organizations. So in that sense, if you see Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, what it says as far as the word decision is concerned, it is a process of deciding about something important, especially in a group of people or in an organization. It is something related to that. And further, if you see that Trevat and Newport, they said that decision making involves the selection of a course of action from among two or more possible alternatives in order to arrive at a solution for a given problem. For example, when you are looking at your higher studies after your UG, so there is a decision involved in choosing a particular line of higher studies. It is MTech or MSc or MCOM or MA or MBA. So that is the one decision that you have chosen. Further, if you decided, they have taken a decision to choose MBA as your the next level studies. So then again in MBA there are so many streams, right? Banking technology, international business, and then general MBA, tourism, insurance. So among all the things, again there is a decision, right? Sometimes you are deciding on your own, or sometimes with the influence, but having alternatives is a common. Out of available alternatives and then choices, you are choosing one particular item as your course of action. So that is the decision making. So further, if you look at the decision making, why decision making is important for managers, right? Decision making is an integral part of modern management. It is considered as one of the manager's primary functions, because as I was mentioning, so the decision making, it is every step there is involvement of decision making as far as manager is concerned. So that means when you are going to take decisions, but you have to see that whether you are taking a right decision or not. If you are not taking the right decisions, so then you will be held up with the wrong plan. Wrong decisions leads to formulation of wrong plan. So your decision is supposed to be the proper. So that depends on how you are able to understand the premises of the decisions. So because there are so many alternatives, that you will understand the step by step and how these the decision making process involves in different stages, and then even a small thing that if you want to decide, so there is a process, there is a kind of the procedure that one has to follow to ensure that the effectiveness of the decision making. So further, if you look at the decisions and then organizations, so in that decisions are made to achieve organizational goals and objectives, as we understood, and decision making process is a continuous and then ongoing. So it is again like why I said that the planning is a continuous process, because there are so many decisions involving. One decision leads to next decisions. So in that way, you can see that the decisions are strictly important, and then they determine both the organizational and then managerial activities. So because so everything that now involves the decision making. But here, important thing is taking right decisions and then implementing right decisions for the ultimate success of the organizations. So in that context, you can see that there are certain important things that so why decision making. So for example, so the decision making is a continuous and then dynamic activity, so that the pervades all other activities pertaining to the organizations. No decision comes as an end in its since it may involve some new problems to solve it. So when one problem is solved, another arises, and then so on, such that the decision making process, as I said earlier, to continue the dynamic the process. So always you will find that there is a the decision when there is a problem. So as a solution, the decision actually emerges. The decision is taken as a solution for resolving any kind of problems and then challenges in the day-to-day work. Then now let us look at the important thing, that the 7 steps that are there in the decision making process. So when you are going to take a decision, for example, choosing a course or purchasing mobile phone, or purchasing a bike, or purchasing the car, whatever it may be. So when you are looking at purchasing something, you have so many alternatives, right? First of all, identifying the issue, identifying the problem, that is one important thing. When you look at purchasing mobile, it is considered as a problem, because now there are so many models in the market, right? Which model you are going to choose, right? For example, if you fail in choosing a right one, then you held up with the wrong the machine in your hand. So that's why you can see that the identifying the problem is important. Then gather the information about that, complete information, identify alternatives after analyzing the information. Then predict the important thing, that predict the immediate and then the long-term consequences if you take decisions, and then what is the repercussions and then the consequences on the decisions, and then make the best choice. So ultimately you have to see that after collecting the information about the issue, then identifying alternatives, and then predicting the present and the long-term and short-term the consequences, and then make the best choice, and then choose the best alternative out of it. So once you choose the best alternative, then act on it. So when you are acting, that means you are implementing the decisions, or you are taking a decisions and implementing, and then so you are evaluating that how it is actually working my decision. So all these are the 7 stages and 7 steps that are involving the decision making. So with that, let me look at the next what is going to happen in the next the video, and I think you will be further discussing about the steps and then the process or procedure that is there in the planning, that will understand the next video. So with this, let me stop here. With this, thank you very much, and looking forward for meeting you in the video 22. Thank you.